Well, hello everyone and welcome back. Welcome back to Coffee Talk with Karen B. I have not flip-flopped yet. I know I said yet, but I probably won't. I'm just saying. You're tuning into someone who still believes that the Earth is a level stationary plane. And I have my motherfucking reasons. So today I'm also streaming on Odyssey. I was able to add some destinations. So I added Odyssey. I'm trying to keep streaming to Odyssey as well every time I stream from now on. And maybe we can start, you woke up extra spicy today? So did I, Spicy Sarah. I'm spicy as fuck. I'm gonna tell you right now, I'm spicy as fuck right now. And I'll give you guys all a little puppy update. We did finally get in contact with the owner. It turns out the owner had to go to the hospital. He was in the hospital, and then while he was in the hospital, he had a friend of his trying to go feed the pups, and then his friend went there and he was like, yo, the dog and the pups are gone. That was Monday morning, and that was when they came here, and I've had them ever since. And then he didn't have my number, but anyways, called around to some places, but eventually gotten in touch with the owner again. So we're all in touch. We have each other's number now, and all that stuff is good. Everything's good. I still have the dogs because he's recovering from his stay at the hospital, and he also has to get his doggy kennel back in order, so we're keeping the dogs until he can take his doggies back. However, Ted and I have decided to keep 2 of the puppies. So we'll have out of 7 puppies, there's still 5 puppies that need to be adopted. He said he was asking if we knew anybody who wanted puppies. Turns out he's not breeding the dog on purpose. It turns out there's another border collie mix in the neighborhood that's a male, that's unaltered, that whenever his dog has gone into heat these last 2 times, that dog has come over and dug out under the kennel, and he was able to and they were able to mate, but he wasn't trying to do that on purpose. So I feel better about the situation. It's not like a breeding operation. It's 2 people in the neighborhood have dogs who aren't fixed, and they're getting together and making puppy situations. So I still think these people need to fix their dogs. But nonetheless, we have 5 adorable border collie pups up for adoption. Yeah, Karen Rant's incoming. I'm annoyed. I'm highly annoyed with some of the shit I see people saying. I'm not trying to throw sticks at anybody who wants to flip-flop, but the flip-floppers are starting to throw shit at us because we're not going along with their flip-flop. And that's some bullshit. That's some serious bullshit. You guys aren't allowed to... Well, you are allowed to, but it's highly... assholey if you think you're just gonna go around and act like you're smarter than everybody now because you went back to the globe because you saw new evidence that isn't fucking new, by the way. There's no new evidence. Here's what's really pissing me off is these people are acting like this is new. This is new evidence. There's no freaking new evidence. Did you guys measure curvature? Did you measure earth motion? No, then you don't have any new evidence. You don't. Oh, I took pictures of the sun for a few months and now I know Earth's a globe. Shut the fuck up, dude. Holy shit. You know that when I was looking at sunspots and studying sunspots and all that stuff way back in the day, like all those pictures, those pictures of the sun with the sunspots, like you can get that anywhere. This is not new information. You know, it's an amateur documentation of something that's very well documented in science and in the science of studying the sun, whatever you want to call that. It's not new. This isn't new. I mean, where were you guys like 7-8 years ago? We had this discussion 7-8 years ago. I've known for most of the time that I've been in Flat Earth that you cannot prove the Earth is flat by looking at the sky. If you just look at the sky, you will come to the conclusion that the Earth is round. This is not new news. Did everybody forget, like, when we first got into this, like, well, why do we think Earth's a globe? Did anybody go through that? Did anybody remember going through that and trying to find out, well, if Earth's not a globe, why do they tell us it is? Why do they tell us Earth's a globe? Well, because of the sky. Geniuses. Because nothing terrestrially tells you that Earth is a ball in space. Name of Bob and saying what he would do is beyond offensive. I agree, Cammie. I agree. People trying to speak for Bob, like you guys are like, if any of you think that Bob would roll over that easily, or that Bob had not looked into or thought of or discussed with anyone the fact that there could be a 24-hour sun in the southern pole. I mean, have you guys even been paying attention this whole time? You think Bob didn't ask those fucking questions? You didn't think that this was discussed? Do you not think that we aren't looking at all these things? It's almost like everybody became like the type of Globie who thinks that flat earthers don't do any research. It's like, oh, did you go to school? Did you go to school? Trust me, Mellowdome doesn't know how Bob thought and why, just saying. I agree. I agree. And here's what I want to know. If you're such a good fucking researcher, how come you didn't already know that sky observations match the globe? This is what I don't get. Where have you guys been? This isn't new. I'm going to play videos for you that prove that we knew about this problem years ago. It is the #1 problem. It's the only problem for Flat Earth. It's literally the only problem. It's the only thing. And it just blows my mind that you people don't already know this. You know what I'm saying? Like, how do you people not know this? We've known this for years. Literally years. It's not a secret. It's not new information. It's like, it's why when this final experiment thing came up, like, I was like, cool, go to Antarctica. But I already knew that it didn't matter what they saw in Antarctica because it doesn't debunk all of the other stuff that we've talked about over the years. That's why I was like, not interested in going. It's why I didn't ever make a big deal out of it, as everybody else did. Because I already knew that sky observations match the globe. I already knew this shit. It's not new. That's what I don't get. It's like, where have you guys been the last 10 years? Where have you guys been the last 10 years? And now everybody's flip-flopping because there's a 24-hour sun in the south now? Where have you guys been? What did you guys look at in the beginning? Because I already knew about this shit. I've talked about this a bunch. It's because, I modeled the heliocentric model in AutoCAD. I debunked the selenium eclipse. I learned that sky observations match the globe. That's literally how the globe was made. By looking at the fucking sky. And I just don't get why now all of a sudden it's a game changer. Where have you guys been? I don't get it. Here's what I think. Either they didn't do their homework in the beginning, either they didn't have a full understanding of it in the beginning, and they could have been shook out a long ass time ago if they'd paid attention, or they just wanted an easy out. Maybe some of them want an easy out. How do I get an easy out? And that's fine. It's your life. You do whatever you want to do, but don't act like we didn't know about this already. Don't act like this is new information, because it isn't. It isn't new information. And as soon as I'm done fucking around with my face, I'll show you. Hi, Leo Slayer. My Rumble stream didn't start? Did I not? You know what? Maybe I messed up and I didn't put the, shoot, I'm sorry. I probably didn't put the streamer configuration setup right earlier. I was a little bit distracted by some bullshit I was reading on the interwebs. I'm sorry. It's a pain in the butt getting your streams ready. I may not have done the settings right on that, so my bad. I can't change it because I already started the stream. It's impossible that there's only one location in Antarctica where the sun is always visible and it appears to set everywhere. Is it impossible that there is only one location in Antarctica where the sun is always visible and it appears to set everywhere else? It's not impossible, I guess, but I think the sun does that on both sides. I think there's at least two locations more things will have to be done to verify what the sky is doing in all parts of the South. But it's just hilarious to me because everybody's acting like this is new information, and it's not. It's not new. I've not heard what Melodome said, but they are not a 33 like Bob. Jeranism is regurgitating old globe arguments from 2014. I know! I thought FE was full of truth researchers, but really it was full of a bunch of followers who were slightly counterculture. They just wanted to buck the system slightly, not seek truth. I agree with that, Shane. I think that's part of what's going on. It's like they thought they were trying to be part of something. I don't know what they thought. Personally, I never got into this for any other reason than to look for what's real. And when I first got into Flat Earth, one of the first videos that I saw was a video by Dr. Zach. Okay? And it was about making a Flat Earth map. And he says, if you want to help me make the Flat Earth map, send me an email. And so I have a background of doing graphic design and working with computer programs and building stuff like that. I don't make maps. That's not but I thought maybe my skills could be useful. So I emailed Zach after I watched that video, because he was like, if you want to help us put together a map, he's like, send me an email. So I did. I emailed him, and then we started a correspondence, and we became friends, and I've been friends with him ever since. And he has always known what the real problem is with Flat Earth, and it's always been the sun angles. Always. And I have to shout out Zach. Thank God that he was the first person that I talked to. I feel like I was blessed. Despite all the differences we may have had over the years, I'm glad that Zach was the first person I talked to, because Zach already understood that the sun angles were the #1 problem for the flat earth. He was making videos on it in 2016 and 2017, okay? He knew back then that was the issue. But I feel like, you know, people, and he would make videos about it, explaining it, and I feel like people didn't really understand back then. You know, hindsight being 2020, I thought people were understanding it, but I don't think people were. I don't think people got it. You know? I don't think they truly understood until this happened. And I think maybe if all these people really think that a 24-hour sun proves the globe, then back then, when Zach was pointing that out, if you guys were paying attention, you should have jumped ship a long time ago. You should have been gone years ago. Because this isn't new information. I'll be taking trips to make my own overs if some Pete-eye reaches $1. Well, I hope it does. Tell you what, that shit's looking like a dumpster fire right now. Anyway. But I digress. Like, but seriously, if that is what it takes to flip you guys back to the globe, you guys should have been globers a long ass time ago. Seriously. Where were you when we were discussing this 7-8 years ago? This is why observations like measuring the earth itself is what we focused on. Damn, this is why we did the laser test, you guys. This is why we did the force the curve or whatever, the thing with Chris Van Maitre when we went to Denver and we were doing that survey shit to measure curvature. Like, seriously. You guys should have been gone a long time ago as far as I'm concerned. Y'all should have been gone a long time ago because you didn't get it. You didn't get it. It took you this long to get it, and now that you get it, you're bailing. It just tells me that you guys didn't do your homework. You guys never understood the issues to begin with. Why were any of you even debating flat earth? You didn't fucking get it. You didn't get it. You know, I did. That's why I kept running around telling every boy you can't use a selennial on eclipse as a proof because it's wrong. Because I understood it. Maybe they all thought I was a dumbass this whole time. Why is Karen saying you can't use a selenial on eclipse as a globe proof? That's a total globe proof, dude. No, it isn't. Nothing in the sky is a flat earth proof. Well, I guess I take that back because the stuff that Alan and Shane look at, but also, you know, the stuff that they go over, it shows you how to look at it from a flat earth point of view. So I really shouldn't say that. But I lost my train of thought. I don't send out Christmas cards, RT, but that's funny. Is it wrong that you dig Karen ripping into dumb Effie? No, man. Why do you think everybody else comes over here? This is where, man, if you can't say something nice, come hang out at Karen's channel, goddammit. I'm just over it, dude. I'm really over it. Because these people are acting like they have some privileged information and that they're smarter than the rest of us. Like the rest of us didn't, we just don't get it. You know, we fucking got it. I got it years ago. Years ago. Okay, look, I'm going to show you. Even in 2019, when I went to the Amsterdam Flat Earth Conference in 2019, this is 6 years ago, okay? 6 years ago. You know who did a presentation there? Me. But also, you know who did a presentation there? Zach. And do you know what the subject of Zach's presentation was in the Flat Earth Conference in 2019? Let me see if he has it up here. The biggest problems of the flat Earth. You see this? This is the title of his talk. The biggest problems of the flat Earth. We're gonna watch this. You motherfuckers are gonna watch this shit.
The reason why this gives me great pleasure to introduce Zach is because, as far as I know, I don't think he's actually ever done any flat Earth presentation. So I think the uniqueness of it is the thing that I'm really looking forward to. So I'm not too sure where he is at this moment. Hopefully he's very, very close. But Zach, can you just make sure you're okay technically, or whatever you're going to be, you know, just be at your podium. But could you please give a warm welcome to Zach?
This is the one conference we got Zach to do a talk at.
I would suggest that if you can clap and cheer loudly along the way, I think he'd really appreciate it.
I don't know, man.
So, but I'm going to go over this again. Zach taught me this way in the beginning. I knew this from the beginning. This whole time, I've known this stuff. So when 24 Hour Sun, when the whole final experiment and all that crap went, to me, it was like, pfft, it's all showboating. They're just, it's a trick, right? There's something behind here, because we don't care if there's a 24-hour. I don't care if there's a 24-hour sun in the South. I don't care. Because the preponderance of evidence goes beyond that, okay? We may not know the mechanics of the sky. They might have some bullshit explanation with balls in space. I don't think anybody really knows, but I want everybody to watch this video. Go back. This is 2019, and Zach was talking about this stuff for 3 years prior to this.
I'm not gonna do that. Alright, hi flat earthers! just to break the ice. God only knows how this is gonna look like, but... Anyway, I'm gonna cut right to the chase. I'm gonna tell you why I am here. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm gonna talk about the biggest problem of the flat earth. Yes, I'm gonna attack the flat earth this time.
Attack the flat earth, yes.
You know, the reason why I want to do this is because not too many people know about these problems, and I know that if you want to solve a problem, you have to face it, because if you run away from it, you will never be able to solve it, and the problem will remain in the same place. So whenever you take a step forward, it will pull you back to your place. The problem itself is talking to you. It's telling you you cannot go any further without solving me. So what is the biggest problem of the flat earth? If you want me to put it into one word, I will say angles. Anybody who really investigated the flat earth have come to this, and they all found it as a big wall. None of them could go through it. None of them. But if you are a fighter, like me, you will keep digging and digging until you make a little hole in that wall, and then you will finally be able to go through it. What I'm gonna show you right now is how to draw this globe earth model from scratch. Because if you know how to draw this from scratch, you will know how to draw this from scratch. You will face the same problems as they faced before. So you have to know how they made this globe earth model from scratch, so you can understand how to do this flat earth model from scratch.
And that's what he told me to do. He told me to download AutoCAD. He taught me how to use AutoCAD. I have to really give a shout out to Zach for this, for taking the time to give me this information, because it really helped me understand what was going on. So he had me download AutoCAD, and then he made little training videos telling me how to use AutoCAD. And then I started modeling the globe earth 2-scale models in AutoCAD so I could understand it.
Scratch, because there is no flat earth model. And if you think there is a flat earth model, you don't understand this. The angles.
You see what he just said? If you think there is a flat earth model, you don't understand this.
That's because there is no flat earth model. And if you think there is a flat earth model, you don't understand this, the angles. All right? So I want to take you back to the life of the first humans on earth. Oh, these are just a bunch of naked people. So, all right. I want you to imagine yourself in a place where everyone around you is trying to understand the universe that circles around us like a clock. All right? The first thing you might want to do to understand the universe is to create time. All right? I mean, if you are a smart human being, you have to start with time. Because time is everything. You don't have time. So the best light you would start with is the sun, because it's the most powerful light you know, the most powerful light you see, so why not? So what are you going to do with the lights of the sun? You're going to place a stick perpendicular to the ground, all right? And then you measure the shadows, and then you will realize that the shadows draw half circles, different half circles throughout the year, all right? The sun goes farther away and it comes back later, all right? The weather changes as it moves. The oceans change as the moon moves. Then you start to think about seasons. Then you realize that you need something to navigate, so you create a compass. And then you realize that every other light in the sky is connected, so you create something called the astrolabe to measure the angles of every light in the sky at the same time. So you get smarter and smarter until you finally create something called the signs of the zodiac. You know, believing that the magnetic energy of these stars can affect the human's personality. And most people see it as a stupidity, but if you think about it, even colors can change the human's personality. The sounds and the voices you hear, the movements you see, the people around you, the buildings you live in, even your name, anything can change your personality. So imagine what a big magnetic energy that moves the oceans can do to you. Well, anyway, this is not our subject. I'm just going to put it aside. Just wanted to pay your attention to how human beings connected the sky to earth. Well, anyway, so as you got smarter now, you would want to do something. You would want to know the shape of the place you live on, right? So here is a problem. You only have a tape measure, a shadow, and probably your brain. What you going to do with these things? Can anybody tell me? This is all you have. What you going to do with them? How are you going to know the shape of the earth and you only have 3 things? All right. At that time, you only, you probably believe that the earth is flat because that's what you see. All right? So the first thing you might want to do to understand the universe is to measure the distances between us and those lights in the sky. And how are you going to do that? You're going to need at least 2 sticks. All right? So you're going to put them far away from each other. All right? As far as possible, because the sun is obviously big. All right? So imagine the distance between these two sticks is 2,074 miles, and the angles of elevation is 75 degrees in both sides. Then the distance to the sun has to be 3,870 miles, and that's the math behind it. All right, that's the math behind it. It's so simple. So if you do this, you would want to tell everybody about it, right? Well, you're going to have a lot of trolls around you, and they will ask you. They will want to do the same thing. And here comes the next problem. Everybody is gonna do the same thing. They will find different distances to the sun. Somebody's gonna find the distance to the sun is 3,000 miles, and somebody else will find it 2,000 miles. So you will want to do the experiments again, but in a different way. So check out this diagram. So what you see here is land. This is actually land, all right? And this is the sun. We don't know where it is, so it can be anywhere. And these are the angles of the light during the daylight, 12 hours of the day, or in this case 10 hours. So anyway, if you are right here and your friend is right here, both angles are 75 degrees, then the distance to the sun has to be, like I said before, 3,870 miles. So now, if you want to do the same thing, if you want to do the same thing with many people from different places on Earth at the same time, and imagine you have this guy right here is going to triangulate the sun with this guy right here. So they will have the sun at an altitude that is, I cannot even see it from here, but anyway, it's going to be lower than the first one. And the guy right here is going to have the sun at even lower altitude. So, and the guy who's not even here on the screen, he's gonna see the sun right above the guy who is right here, right above his head, and he's gonna call him on a cell phone, Eratosthenes' cell phone, because you know Eratosthenes at that time had a cell phone. So he's gonna call him, hey man, I see the sun right above your head, so the distance to the sun has to be 0, right? Oh, the guy, the guy over here is gonna be like, no man, you must have confused me with somebody else. The sun is way above my head. So you as a geometry guy, and I say geometry guy because all they know is what they have on the paper. They don't know what's going on in the universe. So as a geometry guy, how is this possible on a flat earth? If you believe on a flat earth, this is not possible. You cannot have too many suns. You only have one sun. So how are you going to solve this? Can anybody tell me how you are going to solve this problem? Because this is a really big problem for flat earthers. Tell me.
It's in a apparent position, the sun.
The sun is in what?
It's in an apparent position, like personal frame of reference.
All right. So how are you going to solve these angles? All these angles have to go to one point. Because if you are in a hallway, and you put a bulb, for example, right here in the middle, all right, and you go somewhere, and you measure the angle of elevation of that bulb, you will get a distance to that lamp, all right? So if you go farther away and you do the same thing, you will get the same exact distance to that bulb. This is how it works. But in this case, it doesn't work like that. Something is wrong with this. These are real angles taken from real life. I didn't make them up. You know, if you measure yourself, you're gonna find the same exact angle. So you're gonna have 3 options. There is no 4 options. You're gonna have 3 options as a geometry guy. The first option is keep it flat and do something in the sky, which is not the case, because if you look up in real life, you're not gonna see anything, just clouds. So you're gonna dismiss this. And then you will go to the second option, which is curve down the earth. So these are, let's say these are the real elevation angles, all right? When you curve down the earth, you can see that the elevation angles, they diverge from the top. And eventually they will become parallel to each other. And in this case, we will have one sun. Because all these lines will never intersect anywhere because they are parallel to each other. But if we claim that the sun is too big, then maybe, you know? So in this case, you can say that we are solving the problem. But if you rely on these 2 pictures, then you have too many suns. You cannot solve it that way. And the third option is concave. So if you curve the earth up like this, you will have a bigger problem than the flat earth. And this is a message for concave earthers. If you think that the earth is concave, then you have to solve this problem. And I know that you don't know what I mean by this, but if you continue watching, then you will know. So you go back to your globe and you look at it. And you look at it again because you don't understand. I mean, you're not solving anything here. So what do you want to do now to solve this problem? The first thing you will think about is measure the distance between these lines and make it match with reality.
Are you guys following along so far? Does anybody have any questions? Do you get what he's saying? He's addressing the sun angles. All right, I'm going to continue.
You have to make it match reality. So how are you going to do this? There is somebody very smart, we all know him, called Eratosthenes, a guy with
Boy was there.
Here he is, so smart. This guy measured the circumference of the earth. So when you measure the circumference of the earth, of course you will know the distance between these 2 lines. So how did he do that? You all know the story of Eratosthenes, or should I repeat it? You all know it, right? Okay, good. So, anyway, before being as smart as Eratosthenes, you have to go through some geometry lessons. I don't know if everybody here knows geometry, but if you don't, I'm just gonna show you something really small here. I mean, it's not a big problem. So before being as smart as Eratosthenes, you're gonna take a globe like this, or a circle, or you're gonna divide it into 24 parts. Some of you will ask me why 24 and not 27 or 200 pieces. 24 hours is just, let's say, it's like when you say the circle is 360 degrees, okay? It can be anything. For example, this protractor right here is 400 degrees. So it's just a unit. Even if when you change a number, the circle is still the same. It didn't get bigger or smaller. You don't change anything when you change the number. So it's just the unit. Just like when you say 1 mile equal 1.6 kilometers. The distance is still the same. The number has changed. We're just playing a game here. So they chose 24 hours for some reason. I don't know it. So when you divide the circle into 24 hours, you get 15 degrees in each angle, all right? So 15 degrees is a good number. So when you know this, you have to do something else. You're gonna draw a line from the center to the sun, all right? So that line is gonna take you directly to the sun, right? So if you wanna measure the angle of the sun, it's gonna be 90 degrees. It doesn't matter the shape, it doesn't matter the size of the ball. It doesn't matter how big it is. So if you go to the next angle right there, and you draw a parallel line to the first one, you're gonna get 75 degrees in all scales. And I don't know why, because this is how the ball works. So in fact, these are 3-4 balls, all right? All these angles measure the same, as long as you are drawing parallel lines, okay? They measure the same. The first one is 75 degrees, the second ball is 75 degrees too. So they all work the same way. It doesn't matter the size of the ball. This is really important. So here is so Eratosthenes wants to know the real distance from for example, let's say I am here and the distance to this, the angle of elevation is 90 degrees, okay? And somebody is somewhere, his angle is 75 degrees. If we measure the distance between us, it has to match our model. So our model has to match the reality. If it doesn't match, then our ball is not reality. So we have to create another model. So Eratosthenes was here, all right, in Alexandria, and he sent his friend to Syene. His friend is named Mycenes. Well, I just made it up. Because, all those names, you just have to add Aenes at the end, and that's it. Mycenes, Karenes. Something like that. Yeah, that's all. Anyway, so that guy had the sun as 90 degrees over the wall, all right? So they measured the distance between them. It was 500 miles. And the angle of Eratosthenes was 7.2 degrees, and I call it the angle of deception because it's not the angle of elevation, but it's almost the same thing. So what he did was divide 360 degrees by 7.2, and he multiplied it by the distance, and he got 25,000 miles in circumference. Very nice. Very close to our circumference, 24,901 miles. So if you look at this information, what do you understand? Nothing, right? Does anybody understand anything? If you tell me.
Well, they basically presuppose the Earth was a globe based on how the sun shines on the position on the Earth.
Great. So what are you going to do with this information? Imagine you are a friend of Eratosthenes, and he gave you this. You're going to look at it, and you will be like, "What the hell is that?" All I see is a bunch of lines in a circle. It doesn't make any. Tell me. I didn't hear you, swear to God.
It can only be with a very big sun.
A big sun.
Ah, big sun. Yeah, well, the size of the sun doesn't. Yeah, but the size of the sun doesn't matter. I will explain it later. All right. So I'll explain it later. All right. So if you give this to anybody on Earth, they will look at it and they will be like, okay. Only astronomers will use these angles. Nobody uses angles. Who uses angles? Astronomers and a bunch of other crazy people. That's it. That's it. What are you going to do with this? Nothing. I'm just kidding. Anyway, so you will look at it and you will be like, this is nothing. But I see everything here. This is reality. This is the world we are living in. I see the future. I see everything here. So the first thing I will want to do with these numbers is draw the map. Everybody's gonna use the map. The map is the future. If you don't have a map, you have nothing. So at that time, you don't have a map, so you're gonna need a map, right? I can draw the map using these numbers. Can anybody tell me how? All right, so anyway, imagine this. Imagine I am this guy, okay? I'm standing right here, and this is a big paper, and the sun is right above me, all right? And we're gonna stop the time. The sun is not gonna move, it's gonna stay there all the time. So I'm gonna be here, and I got a friend beside me. I'm gonna tell him to blindfold me. His name is Mike Kavanaugh. I'm gonna tell him to blindfold me, all right? And just keep walking in any direction because I don't want to see him, all right? He's gonna keep walking and walking and walking, and then he's gonna stop somewhere far away from me, very far away from me. And then he will call me on Eritosthenes' cell phone. We have to use Eritosthenes' cell phone, by the way, because if we don't do that, we have to wait for next year, and next year is gonna take us a lifetime. Now, as long as we have Eritosthenes' cell phone, then it's okay. So Mike is gonna go to that direction. He walks kind of like this, and then he's gonna stop somewhere. He's gonna stop somewhere, and he's gonna pick up his phone. He's gonna call me, "Hey, Zach, I'm here." You know, and I will ask him, you know, what is your angle of elevation? Mike is gonna measure his angle of elevation. He's gonna be like, you know, I think my angle of elevation is 75 degrees. I go back to my position. All right, so 75 degrees. I'm gonna come to my drawing. You can use this one or this one, it doesn't matter, it's the same. So 75 degrees, Mike is right here. All right, so I'm gonna know that the distance between us is 1,037 miles. That's the distance between me and Mike. I just knew it by using the angles. So I know the distance to Mike, and I'm gonna confirm it because Mike already measured the distance while he was going there. So Mike will be like, what is the distance to me? And I'm gonna be like 1,037. He's gonna be, oh man, I just measured 1,036. How did you know that? Man, I got a break. I'm just kidding. Anyway, so
Asshole.
yeah, you wanted to make fun of me? There you go.
Thank you very much.
Yeah. So the distance between us is 1,037 miles. Do I know where? I'm gonna ask him about the place, of course. Where are you, Mike? Mike is gonna be like, I'm in Egypt. Okay. So I know the distance to Egypt. Do I know what Egypt is? No. That's correct. I don't know what Egypt is. I just know the distance to Egypt. So if I want to know what Egypt is, I'm gonna need another angle. What is it? The angle of azimuth, the horizontal angle. I didn't use it yet. So we only used the elevation angles, and the elevation angles can only tell me the distance to that guy. That's it. And I want to know I want to triangulate that guy. So I'm going to need another angle, which is horizontal. So how the hell am I supposed to do that? I'm going to call Mike again. Hey, Mike, do you have a compass?
Oh, there is a compass.
Do you have a protractor?
Of course I have a protractor.
All right. Is it a big protractor or what? Yeah.
It's a big-ass protractor.
Okay, Mike, you have to stand on it. So Mike is gonna stand on that protractor. It's a big protractor. I'm gonna tell him, Mike, you have to point 0 degrees to Polaris. Do you know where Polaris is? Do you know what it is?
Of course I know, man. I'm an astronomer. You forgot it?
All right, so you're gonna point 0 degrees to Polaris. I'm gonna do the same thing for my position. I'm gonna point Polaris. I'm gonna point 0 degrees to Polaris. All right, just like in this drawing. Look at number 1, for example. I have Polaris right here, but it should be somewhere else. You know, it should be the line that goes to Polaris should be parallel to the other one. I just did it like this so you guys can see it. But anyway, he's gonna point his protractor to Polaris, and I'm gonna point my protractor to Polaris, and I'm gonna draw a circle with the radius of 1,037 miles, which is the distance between us. Now Mike can be anywhere on that circle. He can be anywhere. He can be right there, right behind me. He can be anywhere. So if I want to know where Mike is, I'm gonna try to move that protractor around that circle. I'm just gonna move it like this, pointing 0 degrees to Polaris all the time, all right? And I'm gonna draw a line from his feet to, no, first I'm gonna ask Mike, yeah, I forgot this. First I'm gonna ask Mike to tell me where the sun is, because the sun is right above my head, okay? So Mike is gonna be like, I don't know how to measure that, and I'm gonna show him how to measure the distance, the azimuth of the sun. So Mike is going to be like 1, 2, 3, 4, 90 degrees, 3, blah, 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 180 degrees, blah, 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 270 degrees. So the angle of azimuth of the sun for Mike is 270 degrees, all right? So I'm gonna draw a line from his feet to 270 degrees. I'm gonna keep doing this, like just like in the picture. That line is not gonna go through me, and I want it to go through me, because there is only one point on that circle where that line is going to go through me. So I'm gonna keep moving that protractor around that circle, and eventually that that line is gonna go through me. That's where Mike is. There is no other point. Mike is gonna be there for sure. So I'm gonna know that Mike is right there. If I walk that way, I will find Mike. Maybe I will be a few miles off, I don't know, but Mike has to be right there. Now I know where Egypt is, and I know where Mike is. All right? So the way I found Egypt, I can find Morocco. I can find any other place that is close to me. So this is how I can map the world. If this line right here is parallel to this line, then I'm gonna draw the UTM grid system. That's what I'm gonna draw, and then I'm gonna wrap it around a globe. All right? But do you find this interesting, guys?
Especially the part about Mike. You must be.
See, Zach has been trying to explain this for a long time to people, and I think, honestly, most people just didn't get it. Most people just didn't get it. It's like, it's hard to comprehend. And I think that's why now, like, everybody went to Antarctica, and now they get it. They get what the issue is, where they didn't get it before, and I don't get why people didn't get it before. This isn't new. This isn't new.
Be a really cool guy.
Yeah, I know. All right, so now you know where Egypt is, and you can draw the entire map, especially the countries that are around you. All right? So is this all? You will find another problem. The problem is, if you want to draw other countries like, let's say, UK, all right, let me say I want to triangulate London, all right? So I'm going to send somebody. London in my, if my calculations is right in front of me. So I'm going to send somebody there who's not going to find London there. I'm going to be asking myself, how can I find Egypt and Morocco and all countries are close, and I cannot find London in the right position? That guy is going to go left, is going to find London, but the distance between us is still the same. What's going on? I mean, if London is right there, and I'm telling you this because I did it before. London is right there, and we have, let's say, a distance like 5,000 miles. I'm not even sure. So if that guy goes left, the distance is still the same, but London is here, it's not here. So there is something wrong with the azimuth, because the angles of elevation are working, because the distance is working. But the direction to where London is not working. So what am I supposed to do? How the hell am I supposed to solve this? We have to find a solution. So as a globe earther, we have messed with the, when we did this, we messed with the angles of elevation. All right? We messed with the earth. We curved down the earth in order to fix these angles, to make them look parallel to each other. All right? And that's how we fix these distances. So if we want to make the azimuth work, we have to mess with something else. So what are you going to do in this case? And this is just my theory. I think they tilted the earth 23.4 degrees to get to north, and this is how you can make the azimuth work and finish the globe. Of course, the first map is going to look like a mess. You have to adjust it and adjust it until you finish it, right? So this is how they draw the entire map. And once you draw the map, what are you going to do next? You still have problems. And these are all problems of the flat earth, all right? If you are a flat earther, you have to focus on these angles. Because if you know how to deal with angles, the way they draw the ball earth map, you can draw the flat earth map. But it's not going to be easy. They tilted the earth, you have to do something to the earth. Because I already solved the problem of these elevation angles, and I couldn't solve the problem of the azimuth. Not because it's impossible, it's because I couldn't do it yet. I'm still trying. So once you draw the ball earth map, you're going to have another problem. This is the next problem. This is what I was going to tell you. How many people think that this is correct? Nobody. And how many of you think that this is correct? Good, everybody. Because this is the truth. This is the truth. They know it. They know that the angles of elevation come from the center. They know it. Don't think that they don't know it. All right? And this is why they put the sun so far away. It doesn't matter the size. See the size right here? They deal with the sun as one point. They just care about the center of the sun. All right? They only need the size when it comes to the eclipse. But when it comes to angles, they only deal with the sun as one point. Because the size of the sun can be determined while you have the distance. If you have the distance, you have the size. If you have the size, you have the distance. That's it. If you modify the distance, you have to modify the size. This is how it works. So, if you put the sun right here, look at these angles. They don't look parallel to each other. But when you put it far away, they start to become almost parallel. So they put the sun 93 million miles away. So of course they will look parallel. They come. If you draw lines from 93 million miles away from the center of the sun and make it so small, it doesn't matter the size. You're gonna bring those lines from the center, just like this, and you bring them to Earth. These lines will look parallel to each other. That's why I told you the size doesn't matter. You know. So this is how you fix the problem of the angles. You have them parallel to each other, and at the same time they are intersecting somewhere, because they will just look parallel from Earth, but they are not. So this is how they solve this problem. One sun, one earth. And the angles are working. Isn't this genius? It's a globe model, I know it. And I'm a flat earther, but this is genius. They fixed everything. They fixed the azimuth and the elevation angles and everything.
6 years ago, folks, we knew this.
Yeah, of course. There are exactly. Well, they don't say they are parallel 100%. If you look it up, they say they are close to parallel, not 100% parallel. They put it far away, because from here, if you measure the angle, it will be like, let's say, 75.00001. You can never measure that in real life. So that's why they did this trick. Of course, it's just a trick. So now, from that time, the distance to the sun was like 3 million miles away or something like that. It wasn't that far, all right? So, of course, if you put the sun 3 million miles away, the math is going to work with everything. But when it comes to the eclipse, they find that, you know, they have to play with the distances because something is going wrong. What is this something? There is something else called the angular diameter. The angular diameter of the sun and the moon is always 0.52 degrees. It doesn't change. Maybe 0.53 degrees sometimes. So, if you put the sun 1 million miles away, this is the diameter of the sun. The size of the sun, you get it from the distance. If you get the distance, you get the diameter, because you have to put the sun inside this angular diameter. You have to put it inside and not outside. All right? So if you want to change the size of the sun someday, you have to change the distance as well. You cannot make the sun bigger and put it here. It's not going to work for you, and everybody's going to think you are stupid because the angular diameter can be measurable from Earth. You cannot mess with that. 0.52 degree is something you can measure from Earth. So,
you hear that? So, the angular size, oh man, I forgot what I was going to say. Let's let him talk.
So they put the sun 93 million miles away, all right? And then a weird thing happened in 2017. And
Oh, I know what I was going to say. So that's why, like, when Duffy says stuff like, well, oh, the Earth could be bigger, or the sun could be blah-bitty-blah. If you change one thing in the globe model, the whole thing breaks down. They have it backward engineered to a T.
The eclipse that happened in 21 August. I don't know if you still remember that eclipse over the United States. All right? A growing number of NASA scientists started to say that the sun is much bigger than what they thought it is. And Paul on the plane saw the news that I've seen before, because we cannot find it anymore. I only found these ones, all right? You cannot even see them, sorry. Anyway, the news say at that time that the sun was 250 times larger than the actual size. So imagine when you make the sun of the sun, the size of the sun 250 times larger. You're gonna put it so far away, so the distance is going to be big, huge. all right? And what does that mean? I mean, if you change the distance, you would have a bigger problem because you are changing the radius of the Earth orbit. So the Earth orbits around the sun at an X radius. I don't know the number exactly. So if you change the distance to the sun, then you have to change the speed of the Earth. You have to change the speed. You don't have any other option because you are saying that the Earth is orbiting the sun. So you have to change the speed. And if you change the speed of the Earth, you have to change the speed of the moon because it follows the Earth, right? And if you change this and that, then you will have to change everything else. And NASA is too smart to do this. Because if they do this, it's going to be a pain in the ass. And nobody's going to believe them in this era of internet. Because we're going to communicate with each other. We're going to know it. And so if you were NASA, what do you want to do? What would you do? You're just going to let it go. You're just going to let it go because it's a pain in the ass. But we are not going to let that go, NASA. Yeah, because, listen, this is the eclipse. This is their own website. They say the duration of the eclipse is 5 hours. All right? So if you do the math of the globe model, you will see that the eclipse should be only 4 hours. 4 hours and something. So they are 1 hour off. And they know it. They know it. If you read this news, I don't know, I mean, if you look it up, it's just one website, by the way. So if you look it up, you will see that they admit it. They admit that they have to increase the size of the sun to make the eclipse work. It didn't work. And they said that after we debunked it many times. People like Boss Darling from the Flat Earth 101 channel and probably Globebusters and Jeranism did this. So we've been debunking this eclipse for a long time, and the duration of the eclipse doesn't work. It doesn't match reality. So they had to do something. All right? They had to make the sun, the size of the sun bigger. And of course, if you increase the size, you increase the distance. If you increase the distance, you have to change the entire model, and they cannot do that. They cannot do that. Nobody's gonna believe them ever. Anyway, not to mention this, you already know it. That's it. I mean, this is everything. And I want to tell flat earthers that if you want to draw the flat earth map, and you have to do it because this is the model. If you don't have a map, you have nothing. So if you want to draw the map, stop playing with maps. Like Africa should be here, Australia should be here. This is not how you draw the map. You don't know how the map looks like. All right? So you have to start from the scratch. And how are you going to start from the scratch? You have to do the same thing they did. The same thing, and you will go through the same problems, and you will know how to solve them. You just have to focus. That's it. Because, I mean, I see a lot of people, a lot of flat earthers, and I don't want to offend anybody. They play with the Coriolis effect, time zones, flight duration. This is not going to work for anybody. I mean, if you do that, you will never get the map exact. You have to do the angles, because once you have the distances in the right place, then your map is accurate. Forget about stars. If you fix the map, everything else is going to work. That's it, guys. Thank you.
So there you go. And he has other videos too. His channel used to be Dr. Zach. It is now Decimal Z. There's another video that he made. I won't play that whole video because I like that one because he actually explains the issue of the angles. So he's got multiple videos. So here, biggest problems of flat earth. But before that, the oblate spheroid, geometrically debunked. This one, the angles, how they fooled the world with deceptive calculations. And you can see there, he's got the flat piece of paper with the sticks, and he's showing how you had to curve the earth down to make the angles work. So this has been his thing for a long time. Globe Earth Math Debunked. This is another really good video. In Globe Earth Math Debunked, you guys might like to watch this. You're going to have to, he mashes a ton of information into a short video because he doesn't like making long videos. So I'll say it right here. Had to explain things so fast. If you don't understand something, please hit pause, scroll left, and watch it again, and you will understand it. So he does talk fast, but in this video, Globe Earth Math Debunked, they do an experiment, right, where basically he figures out with the sticks and shadows how they made Earth look like a ball. So they have a light that they're shining on a table. Let's see. I'll show you. this is a good video to watch too. If you really want to understand the issues with flat Earth and you want to stop saying, oh, it's new information. It's not fucking new information. This video is 7 years old. I want to know how many people who flipped watched this video and understood it. Okay? So they have all these different points, right? On this paper, on a table, these different nails and stuff, and they're taking different measurements of the shadows that the nails are casting from a light that is placed above the nails, right? So they're basically taking little angle measurements of the nails on the table to the light that's above the table. And then it shows that using this way of measuring, they come up with numbers that tell you that the table, the flat table that you can see with your eyes is flat, is actually a ball with their math, with their globular math. And he does talk really fast. I might even like to go through this video and like watch it and pause it and discuss it sometime. It'd probably be a good thing to do. But I mean, I feel like I already overloaded you with just that video. And this video is way more geeky than his presentation was. It's way more mathy. It's probably a little bit harder to follow. Like you said, you'll probably have to watch it a couple times, but it's called Flat Earth, Globe Earth Mathematically Debunked. Okay, and he made, this is a killer video. This video's 98,000 views. It took 7 years to get that though. But this video really explains, look, this is a perfect explanation for all the globers that say math proves the globe. Now they will see that math can be used in creative ways to prove your supposition, and it doesn't always reflect reality. So some of us have discussed what's going on in the sky and considered it. We weren't all denying that there was a 24-hour sun in the south. Okay, I don't know if I ever denied that. I can't recall ever denying that, because I got my start looking at the sky and learning what the real issue is with flat Earth and between flat Earth and globe Earth from looking at this stuff. It makes your head hurt. It's complicated. It's not the easiest thing to get through. But if you do it and you get an understanding of it, then you're only going to benefit from that. If you don't understand it, you'll get wishy-washy and flip-flop back based on crap information. And you'll start ignoring all of the measurements of a level stationary Earth that we did and all of the other preponderance of evidence. So, again, I'm thankful that I walked through this difficult subject years ago. And this is why we started focusing on direct measurements of Earth's surface, because that doesn't jive with their globe model. The globe Earth math works when you apply it to the sky, but when you apply it to the Earth, you start having problems, and that is the problem. Anyway, I should open my phones. Does anybody want to call in? Does anybody have any questions, comments, want to talk shit, want to tell me to go F myself? Be my guest. 704-666-1776. Phones are open. Mellow Globe, Robbie Davidson, Dave, all the brain dead followers with no discernment. Yeah. Is David Weiss saying Earth's a globe now? As far as I know, he's not saying Earth is a globe. He says a bunch of other stupid shit, but he's not saying that Earth is a globe. I'm just looking at chat, catching up in chat. But Jaron says all the flat earthers back then knew if there's a 24-hour sun in the south, it has to be a sphere, pure gaslighting. No, that's not true. That's not true. I blocked Rostabear's number. You want me to unblock it? He went Globy. So what? Who cares what Robbie Davidson did? Who cares? That guy was a sellout a long time ago. Hey, remember when he stole the Flat Earth Conference from Rob Skiba? I bet you guys didn't know about that, did you? He stole the conference idea from Rob Skiba, went and purchased the URL and took it right out from under him. Then when he put on the conferences, he started selling us out. Not the first one, but the second one and the third one that he did. I'm talking about the American conferences, like Denver and Dallas. In Denver, he got that fucking asshole Logan Paul. Logan Paul trolled Robbie, made Robbie believe that he was actually a flat earther. Robbie had no idea who he was. Totally got worked over by Logan Paul. Gave the guy, I mean, they bought a bunch of VIP tickets, blah, blah, blah. He let him go on stage, and the guy made a hit piece about us. And Robbie knew the whole time who that guy was, who it was going to be. And he was letting everybody speculate about who it was going to be. And he was making it sound like it was like some legit, like, actual, well-known celebrity. And it was that fucking internet troll, Logan Paul, who made a hit piece about us. Then, in Dallas, he let the Jimmy Kimmel show come into the conference with that loudmouth asshole who was interrupting the Q&A with Mark Sargent, the guy who had the flat out of hell shirt and the broken leg, and he was sabotaging all the interviews and just causing a whole scene, being followed around by a camera crew. Yeah, that was Jimmy Kimmel's camera crew, and Robbie Davidson knew the whole time who it was. And he let those people come in there and make a hit piece on us. He let them come in there and make a shit show out of the conference. He was a sellout a long time ago. Okay? Hi, Liz. Thank you so much for the super chat. So I don't give a shit what Robbie says. No offense, Robbie, but I don't give a shit. I really don't care. Because I lost respect for that guy a long time ago. He was never a leader in the flat earth community. So what? He has a 24/7 Flat Earth channel on YouTube that he stole a bunch of other people's content. He's a content thief. Okay? So I don't care what Robbie Davidson did. I don't care what anybody did. Because I have my own brain and I understood this issue a long freaking time ago. And I still understand it. And the Earth is not a globe. In space. Just want to know. I don't know. I guess you would have to ask Jaren. You can have 4 ounces of weed in Dallas now without getting in trouble, but 2 hours away they wanted to put me in jail for 4 grams. That's crazy, Tommy. Hello, Karen. I donated my VIP ticket for Dallas 2019, and after the conference, I understood why Holy Spirit led me not to go. You still love Robbie? Okay. I mean, I'm not saying that anybody should dislike these people or anybody who's flipped. I don't care what any of you think about any of these people. I'm not trying to throw anybody under the bus. I'm just giving my opinion, okay? I don't care what that person did. I don't care if these other people want to leave Flat Earth or now they're questioning things or now they think the Earth could be a globe, because I understood this issue years ago. I've already gone through this thought process. And I already did a whole bunch of things to prove to myself that the Earth isn't what we are told by the authority or whoever, whatever, you know? I already know. I've already seen it for myself that it doesn't match what we're being told. And somebody going to Antarctica and seeing a 24-hour sun in Antarctica has absolutely no effect whatsoever on me. And that's it. Hey, Scooter. Weak hands are being shaken out. Dude, I'm telling you, they should have been gone a long ass time ago. Either that or they just never understood what was really going on. I don't know. They should have been gone a long time ago, or they never understood what was going on. That's the only thing I can think. They just never understood the real issue. They didn't know. They didn't fully understand where the issues are in the models between what we're told and what we see. That's all I don't know what else to say. Because we were discussing it years ago. I mean, this video is 7 years old. 7, 8 years old these videos are. Talking about this exact thing. Kinda new to Karen B. Well, I've been here for a decade. Where you been, homie? Jimmy Kimmel's crew, yep. Geocentric Home Depot globe. Think it's a second sun they saw in Antarctica? I don't know what happened. I don't know how the sky works. But I'll tell you what, this morning I know Ironworks got cut off a little bit and they didn't get to really run a complete show today. I was listening a little bit when I first woke up. I wasn't in chat, but I was listening, and I heard Zach talking about, like, you know, how humans are. If humans see a barrier or a fence, they want to go through it, right? So, in my opinion, the creator came up with an ingenious way to keep humans in a confined area without thinking they're locked in, without there being a visible fence, right? Because the creator knows that if humans think that they can escape something, they're going to try to do it. But that's not the point of what this place is. That's not the point of why we're here. We're not here to try to get out. We're here to learn life lessons, and we're here to like be fruitful and multiply. We're here to live life, have babies, have a family, experience things, you know? That's what we're here for. We're not here to try to escape. And by the way, nobody gets out alive. Nobody gets out alive. Nobody! Nobody! Except maybe Enoch, if you believe that, the book of Enoch. Enoch allegedly got out alive. But nobody else gets out alive. You know? And if people think that there's a barrier, they'll try to go through it instead of living their life. They're going to be so... I mean, and that's kind of why last week I kind of got to the point where it's like, well, maybe Flat Earth just isn't... Maybe it's not the best thing to be focused on. Because so many people are so obsessed with flat versus globe that they're not living their life. You're not living your life. You're alienating yourselves. You're allowing it to ruin your family relationships, your friendships. You're allowing it to ruin marriages. And this is not a good thing. I feel like this is not productive. Now, if you see things different than other people, if you see things the way your family doesn't see them, that's fine. They don't have to see things the way that you do. Because the rest of us are here. Come talk to us. Let your family be your family. And if you want to come talk Flat Earth stuff, come talk to us. Go to a Flat Earth meetup. Make a Flat Earth meetup. Organize one. Join some groups. You know, do something. Get on Telegram. There's a lot of Flat Earth groups on Telegram. You want to talk about Flat Earth? Don't alienate yourself. Don't ruin your life over it. Because I really don't think it's worth it. Because I got to a point where my mom and I were having huge arguments about Flat Earth. And I finally realized, I was like, you know what? This is dumb. It's dumb. That's my mom. My only mom. I don't want to lose her over this stupid shit. You know, I don't care what she thinks the Earth is. I just want my mom. So... Karen listening to Ironwork? What's wrong with that? Thank you for calling Coffee Talk Around with Karen B.
Hello, Karen B. Dave Hinkle from Kentucky. How you doing?
Hey, Dave. Good to hear from you. How are you?
Good. I was waiting to see if anybody else is going to call in and support what you're saying here, but I just wanted to briefly. I'm pretty much on the same thought patterns as you. All this stuff was exposed 6 years ago. Everybody just kind of brushed it under the rug, whatever. But it's definitely not a globe. That's where I'm at. I don't know what it is, but it's not a globe. And I just wanted to have a voice of somebody supporting what, once you start accepting reality as it presents itself, you go down many different paths and you get misled or whatever. But if you stay with the basic reality, it seems like you're on a pretty good path. I don't know. Am I making any sense?
Yeah.
So I was hoping someone else would call in and just support you in your efforts and what you're doing, because, thinking for yourself, and whatever this place is a mystical, wonderful, magical place, but it's not the globe story that we all got taught. And that, will we ever figure out what the sky is? I don't know. Maybe we're not meant to.
Yeah. I'm kind of thinking we aren't meant to.
But you have to give them credit to the people that came up with the globe. They took the sky and kind of made a pretty convincing story, at least until people start digging into it, right?
Mm-hmm.
But the last thing I'll say, back in 2015, when this stuff started gaining momentum, whatever happened, whether it was a rollout on purpose or whatever. At that time, if this place is really a globe, wouldn't there be like hundreds of examples of globe believers going to islands 10 miles off the coast and clearly showing the 66-foot drop in elevation? Wouldn't stuff like that have happened? And then we would have all shut up,
Mm-hmm.
But that's never happened. And then you guys in 2018, you went to that lake and, which I appreciate y'all's efforts there. That was very scientifically and precisely done. And you didn't measure any curvature with precise lasers, did you? So, whatever this place is, it's not curving. So.
That's right. It's not Kirby.
Anyway, I thought somebody should call in. I'm a 2015 or whatever you want to call me. I've been looking at this a long time. And
Mm-hmm.
Once you actually accept the reality of what it is here on the ground, I just don't understand how people can go back to that globe story. That's just me, I don't know.
I think if they do go back, I think they were already looking for an out. It's the only thing that makes sense to me. They were already looking for a way out.
Yeah, they were kind of like they didn't fully have their head in the actual reality, is one way to put it. I don't know. Anyway, I'll let somebody else call in if they want to. I wanted somebody to call in and support you, because what you're doing is the right thing. We all need to think for ourselves and just accept that we all got deceived in some way. There might be the varying levels of it or whatever, but it's definitely not a spinning ball zipping around through nothing. What it is, I can't tell you. But anyway.
Yeah.
That's enough of dead air, Dave. I'll let somebody else call in.
All right. Thanks, Dave.
Have a good day, Karen.
You too. Problems? Rome Boston Bear, if you want to try calling back, feel free. No, zero discernment and low long-term memory whatsoever. I'm not forgetting what's been said and done. My thing was saying it was having a bad connection for a sec, but now it says excellent connection. YouTube throttles me every once in a while, it feels like. Thank you for calling Coffee Talk. You're on with Karen B.
Hey, Karen, run Boston Bear. What's up?
Hey, how's it going? How you been?
I'm good. I'm actually running, so it might sound a little weird today, but I started your stream when I started this run, and I'm so proud of you for being authentic, genuine, strong-willed, wise. Like, you understand where we've been, you know, and people have been saying in the chat, has Karen flipped? Has Karen flipped? Like, all over. And I keep saying, no, she hasn't. And so the fact that I started the episode and heard your position, I'm like, yes, right on. You know what I'm saying? I'm proud of you.
Yeah.
Because, I mean, logically. But we had our baby number 4, Amelia.
Oh, congratulations.
All natural. No medicines for mama or baby whatsoever.
Wow. Shout out to your wife.
Huh?
Shout out to your wife for doing that. What a trooper. That's a woman.
Yeah, for sure. From the moment the water broke, Amelia came less than 4 hours after her water broke. It was so amazing.
Wow.
And then, you know, we're a lot newer to this. What is true health? What is medicine, etc. And, you know, the old pokey pokes, that's all brand new to us because my wife is a physician and she's trained to believe. Here, let me walk. She's trained to believe in that stuff. But this time I was just like, you know what? Why don't we give her the full chance of just being natural and beautiful, how God made her? And we watched some documentaries and stuff. And you know what? It's perfect. I love it. And thanks for y'all's support. I've been kind of not as much in the chats, but I'm flat. I'm not flipping. The world's not curved anywhere. It's not moving anywhere. If you need to get grounded, listen to Alan at Space Audits. He's hopped on to Globebusters as well.
Mm-hmm.
The presentations he's doing, the science, the conversations, he's just getting better and better. And there's no reason to be freaked out. This whole thing is a spiritual war anyway that has to do with deception and inversions. And yeah, the sky was used to talk everyone into believing that we're on a spinning ball in space, but that's not the truth. And for the people that are seeking the truth and not scared to be an outlier, because a lot of times when you're pursuing the truth, people say you're crazy or you're a quack. But if you're genuinely wanting to know what's real and what's not, and you haven't flipped, good on you, man. Good on you.
Yeah, I agree. So are you doing, I heard that you're going to do the marathon in Antarctica. Are you still doing that? Is that a thing?
I'd love to. It depends if I can fundraise. I got to do some more fundraising. I think it's like 24,500 or 22,500 for entry, and that's to get me from Point Arenas over to Union Glacier, food, you know, airfare, all that, lodging in the race. It's a lot of money, but you know, even if I have to float 10 grand, I might can scrape that together between now and December, but I'm going to just have to have the community drop some, you know, $5 here, $20 there, whatever they want to do. And then if somebody gives 100 or more, I'd be happy to reimburse, because I'm not going to do anything with this money except pay the entry. I just need to I need to know, like, do you want your money back? And I'd be happy to send it. But I'll do more fundraising. Dave and Matt Long said they may do some promotion to where if people donate a certain amount, they'll get some dome for free. But we'll work on that soon. But yeah, I would love to go there and get my eyes on it myself and experience the trip and look around and take my P1000 and some other instruments that I can fit in my 50-pound bag. But yeah, it's the goal to race this December 13th.
Okay. Do you have a GoFundMe?
Yeah, I've set up a GoFundMe. I think it's GoFundMe/RBB-on-ice, like RBB on ice. And then if you go to my channel, the last video I did about Bandera, like my 100K that I did, in the description is my Ko-fi, my Cash App, my GoFundMe page. I gave multiple ways that people can help out if they want to, and I'll start promoting more. It's just we've been so busy with the baby and real life stuff, I've just been kind of not pushing it.
Okay. Oh, I spelled it wrong. I was trying to bring your channel up and it didn't work. There we go.
If you click the Bandera recap video, the last video I posted, in the description, you'll see a bunch of information there.
Okay. Oh, I see. Bandera 100K recap.
Yeah, I ran 62 miles in 15 hours on December, I think 11th. It was amazing. I wasn't totally trained up for it. I just kind of willed it, gutted it out, got 54th place or 55th out of 233, and there was another 120 that quit. So it was amazing. 8,200 foot of elevation gain in the race.
Wow. That's crazy.
I know, man, but you know what's crazy? Last thing. When I'm out here running, I'm listening to podcasts, I'm listening to books, I'm thinking, I'm pondering, I'm praying. And this whole journey of contemplating where we live and contemplating like what is true health, it's helped me to be an all-around better person. I mean, y'all already knew I follow Jesus, but whenever I stopped with the ego and like allowed other people to have differing opinions, because if somebody believes that Jesus was just a fairy tale or that aliens seeded us here on this planet, like I don't have any bad feelings towards somebody with a differing opinion, because their opinion has no power to sway what I believe. And I believe what I believe because I've looked into it. So Flat Earth has brought more joy, more peace, more contentment as I've gained understanding, and I think that's amazing, and no one can take that from me. So, you know, if I find something to be different than biblical cosmology, stationary, enclosed, topographical plane Earth, I'll migrate towards that, because all I want is the truth. But like Dr. Stephen Young and Mark Gober, you know, these folks, they're not budging. Neither is Dave, neither are you, neither is Witsit. And I'm just proud of everybody that stayed the course.
Yeah, me too.
Well, I got to keep running, but I'm glad I called in real quick. All I got was your intro, but I'll keep playing the rest to see like what you covered, because I know you're about to show the receipts for the fact that, you know, celestial observation and sky observations is how they, you know, convinced us that we lived on a ball in space, and it's going to be fun to listen to.
Yes. Are you familiar with Dr. Zach?
Dr. Zach?
Yeah. Well, his channel name
what?
now is Decimal Z, but Dr. Zach was his channel in the beginning. Early flat Earth guy that I was making videos with way back when.
I need to check him out.
No, okay, well, yeah. Keep watching, you'll see. He was discussing this whole thing. For so long he was trying to point out the biggest problem for flat Earth was the sun angles and what's going on with the sun. I mean, he's been pointing this out for a long time. So, and he's got a lot of really good videos about it.
Awesome. Quick question: have you looked into Dr. Heffron's celestial? Basically, he did a celestial theodolite and his observation to a star when it occults the tip of a mountain near his house.
I watched
a couple streams.
Yeah, I watched that presentation on Glowbusters. Yes, that was good. I liked that.
Last night or the night before, they did the same presentation on Earth Awakenings and had a few of the anti-flat earthers really battling, you know, what he's done. And it's interesting. All the flat earthers didn't raise their voice and didn't sling one single obscenity, but the anti-flat earthers were dropping F-bombs and calling people stupid bitches. And it's like, what is going on here? This is just an older gentleman that's done an observation, a test with all the receipts. Let's talk about it. And they get like all pissed and start cussing out the flat earthers. It's like that's a tell.
Yeah. I really liked his presentation, and I felt like, you know, that was a really unique thing that guy was able to do because of where he lives. Like, you know, him living right there made it so easy for him to do all that and get such precise observations. I thought it was great.
Yeah, and then he's saying anyone can do it with any mountain and star, and the main point is it's about the timing of it. It's not refraction, it's the the baseline. What's the math? Not calculus. What do you use for the baseline? Trigonometry, I guess. The trig to get the angle to the top of the mountain with a flat baseline, and then the whole idea of using any kind of sky mapping or star mapping program to put yourself on top of the mountain at that exact moment with that angle, the line lines up. And if it was a globe, it would be like 20 something degrees off And I'm still trying to grasp the whole thing. I have a pretty good understanding on it, but it would have to be a coincidence that flat Earth lines it up. And then they're wanting us to look at refraction. They're like, you're not looking at refraction, but that's what Dr. Heffron was doing, was eliminating the need to argue refraction. So listen to the one on Space Audit's channel, the one where they had the whole presentation again on Earth Awakenings, and the after show with all the questions if you're interested in this topic. But thanks for the mic time, Karen, and y'all stay blessed.
Yeah, thank you. Thanks for calling. Good to hear from you. And congratulations on your new baby again. Happy for you guys.
Thank you. We look forward to going for number 5 after she heals up.
All right. Take care.
All right. Peace. Bye.
And it's 11:11. It's 11:11. 11:11. 11:11.
It's
and the Earth is still flat.
11.
It's not a globe in space. I don't give a fuck what the sun does.
Resonate.
Who fucking cares what the sun does?
Visualize.
When the Earth is flat, goddammit. Who fucking cares?
11. Spirit listens. Knows more than
it's flat.
We do. Visions.
Measure the Earth
manifest.
directly.
In mind.
Manifest your reality. Infinite abundance. All right. Corey Kell also made some good sun observations as well that did not jive exactly with 15 degrees per hour. Yes, Corey Kell is always doing stuff. I actually would like to talk to him again. He sent me his book. I have to go through his book. Would I consider doing it? Well, I don't know if where I live is actually a good place to do his test because I'm surrounded by trees and I can't see shit from my house. I'm surrounded by a bunch of trees. I have the worst sky or long distance viewing probably of anybody. Even though I live in the country, I have trees all around me and I don't know, I would have to go somewhere else to do it. I could do it, I would just have to go somewhere else to do it. You guys like that? Yes, I'm a Phoenix. Thank you for calling Coffee Talk. You're on with Karen B.
Hey, Karen, it's Glenn. I just want to second what your last guest said about Shane and Al. It's really something what they're doing. And this last one in they had with this Australian, the guy wouldn't say uncle, so they just put him another 6 foot under. They're already down under. Now he's another 6 foot under. But what Alan and Shane are doing is just so impressive. On top of dismantling physics, I mean, they're really some strong intellects, and it's really exciting to watch. But awesome, and you're appreciated too. And I just don't want everybody to get discouraged. There's a lot of things going on right now, and something that's not really mentioned is the guy at the forefront of this thing that they're dealing with the theodolite. He's a former space program individual.
Mm-hmm.
Kind of irony about it, but it's awesome. And anyway, just seconding what your last guy said. You guys have a good day.
Yeah, thank you.
Bye.
Bye. Yes, agreed. Go for top 3. Yeah. I asked Grok to make a list of Flat Earth books, but it left out Eric Dubé's books. That's hilarious. Thank you for calling Coffee Talk. You're on with Karen B.
Hey, Karen, Sean from the land of 10,000 perfectly flat and level lakes.
Hey, what's up?
No, not much. Hey, I just wanted to call in and talk about what you were talking about earlier about, not putting flat earth like completely in every part of your life. You know what I mean? You got to, express yourself in outlets like this, and keep the family stuff separate. I think I've done a really good job because I'm already isolated from my family. They already know everything that I believe and everything that I think and everything that I know. But one thing I refuse to do is to let it all divide me, So, I'm
Excellent.
47. I've got 4 sisters. My dad's alive. We still all get together. And I keep that, those topics, away from them, right? Like once in a while I'll email them stuff. But, yeah, I think it's really healthy to just step back for a minute and, live your life. I've got 2 kids. And I'm going to basketball tournaments all the time. And, yeah, I've just recently taken a break from all of the truth whole thing, and I'm watching boxing, I'm, with my kids, I'm working, and it feels good, because it can just isolate you, it can obsess you. And anyway, I just wanted to call in and say I appreciate what you're saying there.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you for calling.
Yeah, because it gets exhausting, trying to, convince people. It gets exhausting trying to put stuff in front of people's face when they just won't accept it, no matter how logical it is, no matter, how truthful, how it's right there in front of their face. I'm getting in these arguments with people. I'm like, what happens when there's a flood? Because, in the land where we live in Minnesota, there are so many lakes, there's so many ponds, huge lakes. And they all, when there's no wind, they're level, where the land is higher around. There's no convex bodies of water. You cannot find one. You know what I mean? And people are arguing, and it's like, it's so logical. It's like, what happens when there's a flood? What is going on when there's a flood?
Mm-hmm.
The water is trying to find its level, right? And it doesn't just all of a sudden then form into a globular shape because it's on the outside of a sphere. It's ridiculous, but it gets exhausting arguing with people and talking to people because they just can't accept it.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
And I agree. But
just runs so deep.
Yeah. But I think it's important for people to keep their family ties going. You don't want to alienate yourself too much and make yourself miserable.
100%. Yeah, absolutely. That's one of the things I said that I was grateful for at a family dinner was I was like, with all the stuff going on in the world, everybody's got their opinions. I said, I'm grateful that we haven't divided ourselves, that we still get together as a family, and, leave religion, politics, leave all that off the table for now. Just be together. Make sure that, because it's all about division. That's what they want.
Yes. Yes.
Yeah. So, yeah. And I, shout out to David and Jenny and their little girl, Beverly. I haven't seen them forever. I haven't seen my Minnesota community forever, but, I love all those guys. I've just got my life. I got 2 kids, 11 and 13, things are busy. So.
Yeah, exactly.
Yep.
Fantastic. Well, good for you. Thank you for calling.
Yeah, thanks, Karen. It's always nice to hear your show. You have a good day.
You too.
Okay, see you.
Got another call. Thank you for calling Coffee Talk. You're on with Karen B.
Good morning, Karen. How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm fine. I'm just curious, are you still on Flat Earth? Because I've heard a lot of people have been flipping lately. Are you still a Flat Earther?
Yes, of course.
Oh, so the final experiment didn't, you don't accept that, or what's the problem with it?
Well, it wasn't an experiment. There's no problem with it. I just don't, it just didn't change anything about what I think.
Well, yeah, it is an experiment.
No, it's not an experiment. It's an observation.
Yeah, that counts as an experiment.
No, it doesn't. It's an observation. That would be incomplete as an experiment.
Well, then how do you explain how the sun can be south of you, facing outward from the disk?
I don't know how the sky works, but I know that the Earth is flat.
Isn't the sun over the equator and between the 2 tropics?
Part of it is, yeah.
Part of the sun?
No,
think
not
all
part
us
of it.
are.
I mean, that's one path it makes. Yeah, look, I'm not going to sit here and argue with you about what the sky does because I really don't give a fuck. And I don't give a fuck what you think either. Okay?
Well, I think it's important. I mean,
No,
kind
it's
of the whole
not.
point of flat Earth
Why is it important? Why do you give a shit what I think?
Because the Earth isn't flat, and I can prove it by showing you the final experiment refutes your belief in flat Earth.
God. You know, do you know how emotionally and energetically draining it is to talk to fucking retards on a regular basis? I mean, seriously. I did, yeah. On this guy. Haha. Brenda. I mean, seriously, you're going to tell me the final experiment proves Earth is a globe? No, it doesn't. If it proved Earth was a globe, then a lot more of us would have maybe changed our minds. But it doesn't. And it didn't. And so, no. I know. Does anybody interesting want to call in? Dave had Dr. Shiva on one day and he agreed to do an experiment with Harvard or MIT or wherever he is, another public humiliation for Flat Earth coming. Why? Thank you for calling Coffee Talk. You're on with Karen B.
Hey, it's Dennis. I've got a break in the work. How you been doing?
Oh, good. Hey, Dennis, what's going on?
Well, I'm laughing because I got a quote. Because it's a flat Earth quote, but it's silly. You know, it's humorous. But at any rate, I won't talk about I got no intention to talk about the topic of the day, like you and that previous caller were saying, you know, you're tired of all the drama all the time. So, but anyway, the quote of the day, I don't know how much I should say the background for it, but it's something Mark Sargent said, and it was Tuesday night, you know, during Strange World, the Tuesday before Flattoberfest in October of 2022. I'm pretty certain, which I think it was in Greenville that year. Anyway, I was just silly. I think you'll know the context. But you can still hear me, right?
Yes.
Yeah. Anyway, I know. Just teasing. Mark Sargent, he leaned over and asked you. He said, and I think it was during a call when Jan from Dallas called in, and he said, "Is Ted Summer going to bust the door down?" Should I say the context, or enough people they get it? Anyway, that was I wouldn't say that's necessarily the greatest flat Earth quote of all time, but maybe it's in the top 10 of the funny ones, maybe top 5. Anyway, no, but I'm on the same wavelength as far as stepping back as some of y'all are. Maybe not as dramatic, but you know, I started searching for a church. I'll just say this summary real quick. Back in the early 90s, and by phases, I had come to the Eastern Orthodox by process of elimination throughout the 90s and concluded that in 99. And then I started, having come to that conclusion, I didn't know anything too much about it, but I was just going logically and historically. So I started gathering money. I got jobs. I joined the Navy, and to get money to buy books and to visit Orthodox churches and monasteries to get more knowledge. And so anything that came in between me and knowledge was headed for the exit door in my world. So anyway, I finally went with by 2012 the Russian old right Orthodox. So I tweaked that decision that I made in '99 to a little more focused. Anyway, what this was, and I became Flat Earth back in the 1990s as a side search. Anyway, I'm finally getting baptized this April, the day before Pascha. I'm going to go up to Alaska to do that because there's no. I relocated to New Orleans last year for financial reasons, for temporarily. But anyway, my focus in preparation for all that has been stepping back from flat earthism a bit out of necessity and focus on things I've got to be, my lifeblood, the energy. So I haven't been as, basically the same story. I'm not hitting it 100% right now. Like I did that documentary, at least a rough draft, and at some future year I'll return to it to finish it off to make a second revision. But that's basically where I'm at. Yeah.
Right on.
Yeah. You probably made a good move, I'm thinking, when you decided to take a step back last year and stop doing, Strange World and Flatoberfest and all that. You probably got to a more acceptable level, something like that.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. Well, anyway, that's all I got. Is Ted Summer going to bust the door down? Anyway. Well, if I could say one, he said another one for me. When you mentioned that I sent you, I was on the road to New Orleans with my family, and I'm going to say, he said again, when you said I sent you the bullwhip, he said, I see you remember his exact words. It caught him by surprise, and his first words out of his mouth were, he was like, if I may say it on air, repeat what he was like, like all innocent sounding. I'm absolutely sure there's no sexual innuendo having to do with that whatsoever. Anyway, but that was Mark Sargent. I think I caught him by surprise on that one. Anyway, that's all I got, and we'll let you go.
All right. Thank you, Dennis.
You got it. Thanks.
Yes, I forgot too that I set up Puppy Vision. Puppy Vision! I'm trying to get it in the right layer here. The Puppy Cam. There we go. Puppy Cam! So there's a puppy. There's a puppy. Puppy. Puppy, puppy, puppy! Let's see, maybe if I can make this a little smaller, fit it in there a little better. There we go. So, yeah, I managed to get a puppy cam set up. I didn't think I was going to be able to do it, but I did. Brenda used a new number too because I blocked the other number. I think. Or maybe I forgot to, I don't know. Yes, this is Puppy Cam. So we have all the puppies outside in a pen, right? There's their dog glue. And there's we had an old garbage can. I put it in there sideways and we put a bunch of straw down, like a bunch of bedding. And then there's another dog bed in there, and sometimes all the puppies get up on there and they start roughhousing and wrestling and stuff. It's super cute. Puppies make everything better. I would like our next door neighbors to have one so you could play with it. Well, if anybody local is looking for a pup, let's see. I'm gonna bring this over here. Let's see, puppy. Let's move puppy vision for a minute. So I've got these puppies here. The owner wants us to help them find homes. This is a female. That's a male. That's a male. That's a female. And that one is a male. This is the brown one. They're super cute. The mama dog is really smart. Actually, let me see if I can upload this video that I took this morning of the dog. Let's see. I wanted to show what a good dog. What a good dog she was. So I'm going to try to bring that up. Puppies are best outside. Dude, you're not kidding. When they first showed up Monday morning and we brought them, we didn't have anything set up for them. And so we brought them in the house and I put them in my laundry room with some puppy pads and they just started shitting all over the floor and I was like, no! So, if anybody is local and is interested in a border collie pup, let's see. I can play this video. So this is a video I took this morning. I'm trying to show you how good these dogs are for anybody who wants one. She's way over here, taking a poop. Watch how good she goes back into her kennel with the pups. Aggie! Aggie! Good girl! Good girl! Come on! Good girl. I could never do this with Remy. He would just split. Aggie. Look at all the puppies there waiting. They're so good. Look at all the puppies. Back into Pupland. Come on. Come on. Get in there. Good girl. All right. Okay, you guys be good. I'll be back out in a little bit. Oh, you're okay. So there you go. That's how well behaved these dogs are. Super smart. They listen. They don't just run off. I'm super impressed with how smart the dogs are. And yeah. So Ted and I are going to keep 2 of them. And these are the 5 that are left that Ted and I are not keeping. Because we can't keep 7 dogs. We would they'd be bored. We don't have work for 7 dogs. But we're going to keep 2 of them. Rascal Mutt pedigree, yes. No, these are not pedigree dogs. These are country dogs that mated that should not have been mating. That's what that is. So, and there's the mama and the puppies. Puppy cam. Live puppy cam. A lot higher rent. Yeah. It's a high energy type of dog. Yes, Ben. They need lots of room to run around. But I have that. We have that. We have lots of room for them to run around. Digital Earther looking real good right now. This celestial theodolite test could be a real jumpstart to the classical FE experiment community. Yeah, you know, there's some of us who've been talking in the background. Okay. And we're talking about doing some more stuff where we might revive the FE Core, some of the FE Core crew. There's some of us have been doing discussions in the background. Not all of us are flipping like like you've seen go on. There's some of us that have been here for the last decade and we're still here. And we're just watching, you know. I'm just watching what's going on. What else am I going to do? You know, I can't control what all these other people do, and I don't really, you know, that's not really my place. I'm just watching to see what happens, and then figure out what I'm gonna do after watching the shit show. Hey, Mark Sargent. Yes, the guy brought us we have tons of dog food. He brought us like 100 pounds of dog food to feed the dogs and take care of them while he's getting his kennel set up. Oh, look at there's all the little puppies right there. Do you have to get a permit to build that pen? No? Why would I need a permit to put up a... That's like part of my... What it is part of the chicken pen. So Ted built this like huge elaborate chicken pen that has multiple sections because chickens tear up the ground, right? So he did a really cool thing and he built this pen that has different sections so you can close off one section and let things build up again while the chickens go destroy another section. And then you close off another section and open the other one back up. So it's like rotating chicken pen, right? So what Ted did is he just took one of those sections and closed it off with some fencing. And then we set it up for the puppies. That's it. That's all we did. It was already there, pretty much. Growing puppies eat a lot of food, yeah. I mean, I do need a permit, but I don't have to get a permit until I you don't need a permit unless you're going to build a structure that's bigger than 12 by 12. I already checked. So you could build up to a 12 by 12 structure without a permit. And this is not a permanent structure. This is just fencing. So as far as I know, you don't need any permit to build a fence well inside the property lines of your home. A guy went to jail here once for building a fence without a permit. Are you kidding me? Holy crap. They'll help guard your chickens so other dogs don't come kill them again. Make sure to get the pups acquainted with the birds from a young... Hey, Billingtano, they're literally in a pen right next to chickens. The chickens are right on the other side of the fence because we had to use part of our chicken pen to make a puppy pen. So they're literally hanging out right next door to the chickens like all the time. I don't know if that helps. That's wild. I can't imagine going to jail for building a fence. How stupid. Man. Stupid shit goes on in this world, I'll tell you what. Pasta Bear was on Sov's stream the other night crying that you blocked him. Dude, that's hilarious! Did anybody else see that? That's too funny. Briefly set in Norway, not necessarily the other side of the curve, just because Alaska's nights are black as pitch doesn't say anything about it being on the other side of a ball earth. Yeah. Please drop a link to Zach's video. Okay. Which one? Here, I'll put this one and then you can look around on his channel for other stuff. Zach stopped making videos. So, his channel kind of got stagnant for a while. But I think I've been talking to him too, and I think he wants to start making new videos again. Because of all the stuff that's going on. Thanks, now my dogs are going spastic. I'm sorry. Anybody chatting on Odyssey? Did my stream even start on Odyssey? Is it going? Start on Odyssey. Oh, it is. Sweet. Streaming on Odyssey, you guys. Feed your kids eggs. Yeah, it helps? Okay, good. Your pit bull gets along fine with chickens, goat. That's good. I'm in the middle of a 17-acre backyard. I'm sure it's fine. Yeah, because you have that trail back there, it's fine. I suggest Rasta Bear can get unblocked if he debates Mr. Pockets of Survival. Why would he debate that guy? They think the same thing. They agree with each other. The sun angle thing is kind of over my head, no pun intended. Yeah, I get it, Dr. Bass Ackwards. I think a lot of people don't understand it. And so then they see that there's a 24-hour sun in Antarctica and they're like, whoa, buddy, whoa. The sky does things that doesn't make sense on a flat earth. Well, it's like, this isn't new news. Your brother went to jail for storing lumber firewood behind his garage? Damn! I didn't know you could go to jail for stupid shit like that. Were these people living in like a HOA or what is this? It's almost feeding time, a secondary feeding time for puppies too. So I'll have to end the stream when it's time to go feed puppies. Some big person with a little wrench. Did something happen to Plain and Simple? I didn't see anything happen. Yes, Karen's neighbor's dog keeps bringing her puppies to Karen's. Yes, exactly. Enoch and Elijah. So, yeah. Check out Zach's channel, Decimal Z, or at Dr-Zach. YouTube.com at Dr/Zach. He's got a lot of good videos. He's been talking about the sun the biggest problem of flat Earth, which is the sun, the whole time. The whole time. Whole time. Look at biggest problem of flat Earth, 8,500 views. Almost nobody's watched it. Nobody's watched it. How they fooled the world with deceptive calculations, 19,000 views. Even this one doesn't have as many good views as it should. But he's made multiple videos on this subject. Oh, he even has a playlist, the Flat Earth Map. See this little update on the Flat Earth Map, or how to draw the Flat Earth Map? These are the videos that made me contact Zach way back in the day. Oh, he's got Globe Earth. Here we go. So here we go, angles, Globe Earth playlist. This is Zach's, this is a good playlist actually. Here, I'll save that too, so it'll show up on my channel. But yeah. So, just so you guys know, the issues that people are talking about with the sky that all of a sudden need an explanation have been the same issues that have been going on the entire time that we've been here doing this. Literally the entire time. So there is no new information. They didn't bring us any new information. That's what I think is funny. They're like, oh, I changed my mind with this new information that got presented. Nobody presented any new information. Nobody presented new information. We knew, this is all stuff that we've known. Which is funny. That's why I think that's, you know, I mean, I don't know what else to say about it. I don't know what the sun is, so the earth must be a globe so fucking stupid. That's what I'm saying. Do I listen to Dream Theater? I've heard Dream Theater. I don't really listen to them. It's like that sort of like operatic type of metal. I don't know. I'm not a huge fan of operatic type of stuff. Bob was big into Dream Theater, wasn't he? Or was that Nightwish? He might have liked both. Breaking news, nothing new under the sun. A dog gets the taste of raw chicken, you will never keep it away without giving the dog away to someone out of town or putting it to sleep. Well, luckily none of these dogs have done any. They're just puppies. They're just sweet little puppies. They look like they're napping now. Simply not true. Yeah, Bob loved Nightwish. Yeah. They learn young, they'll know forever. Well, these little puppies are gonna get lots of chicken time. I've just used a compass oriented to north, and then check out the sunrise angle versus sunset angle, and the degree points don't support the path of a circle. Do you think you picked the two puppies with the best temperament? No, actually, we didn't. They're all pretty much similar temperament. Actually, the one that I picked is actually a very rambunctious puppy. I picked the punk puppy. I picked the one that was going around and like kind of being a little bit of a turd. Excuse me. But they're all good. They're all very similar. So if anybody's local and you think you want to take on the lifetime commitment of a puppy, hit me up. Send me an email, KarenBFE@protonmail.com. And we'll, yeah. Love ABBA. What's going on? If we each have our personal sun, then do we each have our personal reality? I don't think so. Border Collies, really intelligent, brilliant dogs. I have a Shetland Collie. Unreal how smart they are. Yeah. Yeah, they are really smart. I love that this dog listens without needing a leash and does whatever you tell her to do. Like, so obedient. And she's not even my dog. I mean, you saw that video. I let her out so she could go run around because she doesn't like to poop in the kennel where the puppies are. So we let her out to go potty, and she goes and she runs around, and then she comes right back and she goes right back in the kennel. Now, if I did that with Remington, he'd be gone. I'd have to go get the car, and I have to make him chase me in the car to get him back. It's definitely not the same. So I'm actually looking forward to having an actual obedient dog. As much as I loved Remington, I loved that dog. He was such a good, sweet boy. Oh my gosh, he was a wonderful dog. But he did not do well off a leash. Oh no, no. Cooking a monster egg breakfast sandwich? Nice. Personal sun proves it's a reflection. Go out at night and look at the windows reflecting the streetlights. They follow you from window to window. Man, I don't know what the sky is. What's up, Austin? I don't know how the sky works. We may never know how the sky works. Although I can't bring myself to leave Flat Earth, I feel like I can make an irrefutable argument against the globe. I've been working on it. My idea hasn't been mentioned by FE for some reason. What is it? Had a border collie with 20 toys and you could tell him to get a certain one and he would. So smart. Yeah. Personal reality when by yourself, shared reality with differing witness experiences when with others. Yeah. A flock of sheep. I don't need a lot more critters though. I don't know, maybe maybe some goats. I think most Mason drawings, it's not sun and moon, it's Polaris and Sigma. I think that will change a lot. Hey man. It just gives us more stuff to ponder and think about, but man, there's nothing that they saw in Antarctica that makes me think the Earth is a globe. I don't. And I know, and then I see them saying, well, quit saying the sky doesn't define the shape of the Earth because blah, blah, blah. This is how we navigate and yada, yada, yada. Yeah, it helps you navigate, but it doesn't tell you anything about the Earth being a ball. You know? It just doesn't. Men who stare at goat nuts. Dr. Bascom presented on my channel. Do you have a video? Or you can call in. If you want. Anyway. Fainting goats. I wonder if I can leave this on. Do you guys want to watch me feed the dogs? Or I should probably just end it. Everyone is at their own level of awakening, and I think that is a big reason why we get frustrated when we are unable to get the normies to see they are at a different level. Yeah, everybody's got their own ideas about stuff, but you know, Like, I don't really care what these other people think. Like, whatever Jaren thinks or Patricia thinks or whatever they want to believe or they want to leave Flat Earth, they're free to do that. They're free to do whatever they want to do. Right? Just like we're free to keep on doing whatever we want to do. You know? Nothing I've seen has changed my mind yet. I'll look. I'm still looking. I will look. It's just been a decade, so I don't think it's gonna happen. And the 24-hour sun in Antarctica ain't it. It just ain't it. Fainting goats are so the rest of your animals don't get eaten. Question. The Go Fast rocket, when it hit whatever it hit, then rotated, it revealed an incorrect globe position of the moon. Was that true or an embellishment? Well, honestly, I don't remember. I don't remember looking at that in detail, so I can't really speak to that. I guess I would have to look. And then you would also have to know the exact time and place that the Go Fast rocket launched from, and I'm not sure where that is, so you'd have to go get all that information. You have to make sure you know exactly the location where it launched from and the time and the date, and then you can figure out if it's showing the moon in a weird place or not. Am I allowed to make a joke? Dwarf Norwegian goats have the highest milk fat content. So if they think it's a globe, do they think it's spinning? I don't know. I don't know what they think. I don't know if they think we're spinning or not. I thought it sounded like Jaren was saying he was more like with the Robertson Jenis sort of line of thinking, where Earth is a ball and there's space and everything, except that the ball is staying still and everything else is going around the Earth and it's geocentric. I think that's... But I don't know. I don't want to speak for anybody. I don't want to speak for anybody to say what they believe. I don't know. You would have to go directly to that person to find out exactly what they think. Yes, Patricia allegedly... She says she's not... Well, she messaged me. She says she's not, she's not a globie, but she doesn't... She's, like, shape agnostic, and she feels like she should leave FE or take a step back again because she doesn't support the Flat Earth model. And that's totally fine. That's her decision. The Robbie Davidson. Oh yeah, with that cheesy picture with the flat earth on the tombstone. Oh, that was so cheesy. The 24-hour sun in Antarctica is a difficulty for flat earthers, but doesn't magically make the earth curved or prove the motion of the earth. Exactly! Yeah, Bill. I don't want to say she flipped. She said, because she said in her message that she's not a globe believer, but she can't support the AE map FE model. And so she's leaving Strange World and taking a step back again. That's fine. That's her decision. So is Jaren now a globie or entertaining it? Yes, Jaren is now saying that Earth is a globe. Beyond that, I'm not entirely sure what he thinks is going on. Rose 777 is a globie now too? What are you talking about? No, she's not. When did that happen? Because I talk to Rose all the time and she never said that to me. I'm gonna ask her. You didn't either until you heard it from Duffy's mouth. Why do you believe what Duffy says? Why do you believe what Duffy says? Why don't you wait for Rose to speak for herself? Rose says she was never really flat. Well, that's not what she would say to me. That's not the discussions I had with her. I know that Jason never claimed to be a flat earther. Jason Lindgren never said he was a flat earther. He was never that way. I just did send her a message and ask. The AE model allowed me to conceptualize the ice wall and all this cool FE mythos. Having it debunked put me on a fence for a bit, yet recent stuff has brought me back. Battle of the Beams, etc. Yeah. Why did everyone that had AE map as a base flip out? TFE didn't debunk the AE map. That's what they're saying. They think it debunked the map. And I'll tell you why they think it debunked the map. Let's see. So here's why. December solstice. On December 21st, the sun moves around the Tropic of Capricorn and during the day lights up the southern portion of the Earth from the Arctic Circle to some portion of the Antarctic ice. There is no, quote, sunlight beyond 80 degrees south but unknown regions of ice. On the 23rd of December, the sun commences his way northward journey again, returning to his starting place and thus completes his seasons. Now, Will Duffy misquoted this. He said that the sun, that you can't see the sun beyond 80 degrees south or whatever. The way he quoted it was different. The wording is different. This is what it says. It says there is no, quote, sunlight beyond 80 degrees south but unknown regions of ice. Now, could there be sunlight beyond 80 degrees? Probably. I mean, he could have just been wrong about this. But so what? You know, he could have just been in a similar place where other people are, where they can't accept the fact that you're getting two opposing views. Like if you look at the Earth as flat, if you look at the sky, you could measure a globe. Like maybe he just didn't understand that paradox. Maybe he didn't have an understanding of all of the different types of, you know, mineral properties and like different things with light and stuff that could be going on. I mean, maybe he just didn't have that set of knowledge to have that comprehension. I don't know why it says there's no sunlight beyond 80 degrees south, but that's the sun. This is a map of Earth. This is a map of the Earth, and it's just a Cartesian coordinate system. This coordinate system right here is the same coordinate system that is used to do a Mercator map or any of these other projections, right? It's the same data set. It's just applied to a different projection, right? They just changed the shape of it, but the data is all the same. So if you say the AE map is incorrect, well, then the Gleason's map is incorrect, and the Gauls-Peter map is incorrect. Every freaking map is incorrect then. They're all wrong. They're all wrong. Not just AE, because it's the same data set. It's like what Alan and Shane talk about with the maps, right? What do they call it? The graticule thing or whatever? It's the same data set that is extracted and then applied to different map projections. That's all it is. So for anybody to go around and say that the AE map is wrong, well, then you're just saying that all maps are wrong. They'd all be wrong then. All of them. Every single one. I've been saying I'm not flat for 7 years. Doesn't mean I think it's a globe again. Well, I don't believe she's a globie until she tells me that she's a globie. And I'm not going to believe it out of Duffy's foul mouth. The list from dumbass Duffy? Who cares about Duffy? Fuck Duffy. Off topic, how many chickens should I get for eggs for 2 people? Yeah, it depends how many eggs you eat. You'd probably be alright with like 4 chickens. 4 or 5 chickens. I like to have more than that though, because there's a lot of people here that eat. So, and then, you know, right now we've got 4 hens and we're looking at doubling that. We're looking at doubling, going from 4 hens to 8. So we can increase our egg production value. Where'd everybody go? Did they all go in the dog loo? I wasn't paying attention. I can try to talk to him. Here. Puppy, puppy, puppy. Hello, puppy. Aggie. Look it. There you go. Look at the puppies. There they go. They're like, what's going on? And my roosters never shut the fuck up. Well, that didn't really get very much going. The AE map shows 3 magnetic poles implied. Yes, Cammy, I agree. Cracked a Heineken for lunch. Who's with me? Don't be a pussy. Oh my god, that's hilarious. I'm gonna have to get going so I can feed these puppies. If a structure is plumb, it stands straight up. If not, the natural tendency towards free fall will occur and the structure topples. I'm a supernatural earther. God did it. Hey, I like that. Never was Effie, nor was Crow or Jason. Why are you people saying that Rose was never a flat earther? Because she sure talked a whole lot like she was a flat earther. So why all of a sudden is now she was never a flat earther? Because that's not the conversations that I'd had over the years. What feed do you get, Billingtano? We don't get the Do More stuff, but we get organic chicken feed. Our chickens are spoiled. What messages, Ben? I'm assuming Facebook messages. Rose having some issues recently, so I don't know. Oh, should I not read this out loud? Huh. I don't know. Alright, well. Something must have happened in the last few days. I don't know. Stand strong, Karen. Please don't flip on us. That would be awful. I don't really see that happening anytime soon. Because like I said, I already knew that the sun was the biggest issue with the flat earth. I already knew this shit. I've known for years that the sun was the biggest problem with reconciling the flat earth. and having a complete model. I've known this. I've known this shit for so long, and I've still been a flat earther. If that was what it would took to flip me, I would have flipped a long time ago. I would have left a long time ago. And I even remember being very conflicted a couple of years ago, right? Or a couple of, it was like a little over a year. I don't know. Whenever I was talking to Zach, right? Because I was looking and watching stuff before, and then I started, talking to people, and Zach was the first person I talked to. But it's so silly. But I already remember. I remember when we had this conversation. When I was modeling the globe model in AutoCAD, and there was the Russian Vids video on the Selene-Leon eclipse saying how impossible that was on a flat Earth. And I went and I found that specific Selene-Leon eclipse, that time, at that date, and that's the eclipse that I modeled, and I debunked Russian Vids. I remember messaging Zach. I'm like, hey, I finished modeling that eclipse in AutoCAD. And he replies and he goes, and you proved the globe, didn't you? He knew. And I was like, yes. He's like, I told you. But then when you start examining the actual Earth itself, you'll see that it's not a globe. Like the globe math model stuff doesn't jive when you start examining the actual Earth and not the sky. So I already went through this, I don't know, I guess what people are going through now, where there's a conflict between the sky and the Earth. I already went through this like 7-8 years ago. And I remember asking Zach, I'm like, does this mean Earth is a globe? This is bizarre. And he's like, no. He's like, I don't care what the sun does. The Earth is flat. And that's when we started focusing. He's like, we got to focus on direct measurements of Earth, long distance viewing, because that is how you prove the Earth is flat, not by looking up in the sky. 7 years ago, I went through that. I already went through this, like, oh, what's going on here? Like, the things that people are going through now, I already went through all that shit. So, I mean, it's going to take a lot. They're going to have to show motion and curvature to make me think that the Earth is a ball. And I really don't see that happening. I don't see it happening. Now, can I explain the sky? No! I can't. I can't explain it. Can any Globie explain why the Earth itself doesn't match the globe model? No. They just go, oh, refraction, oh, scale, oh, it's just, whatever. Angles are impossible with a curved baseline. There is no argument. Alex Stein is an opportunist. He goes where he can get clout and attention. That's a fact. Water's level, we see too far. Yeah, no one can explain the sky. I can't explain the sky. They can't. Even globe earthers have no idea they can't explain the sky. Right? I mean, even them, they're like, oh, the Selene-Leon eclipse, like, even mainstream will tell you that the Selene-Leon eclipse works because of refraction. But that's bullshit, because in AutoCAD, you can't put atmosphere into the model, so there is no refraction taken into account. Yet the Selene-Leon eclipse, the syzygy between the three bodies, lined up perfectly in AutoCAD with no refraction. But then the globe community, the scientific community, says that is visible and possible because of refraction. So they don't, you know what I'm saying? Like, they don't even know what the F is going on. Rim velocity, right? Nobody can explain why we don't feel the rim velocity. Why are we not flying off the edge of Earth? Oh, because of gravity? Well, that doesn't make sense either, because the rim velocity is not the same over the entire ball if it's spinning on an axis, right? The rim velocity would be much higher at the equator and almost nothing at the poles. And so gravity would have to be stronger at the equator and almost non-existent at the poles for that to be true. So clearly, the shit doesn't work, right? So I don't know I can only assume that either these people were just tired of it, tired of the grind. They wanted an easy out. Or they just don't. They didn't comprehend this problem to begin with 10 years ago, 8 years ago, whatever. They didn't get a full understanding of the real problems between flat and globe Earth. That's all I can say. I don't know what else is going on. You know? Were they bribed? Were they threatened? Blah, blah, blah. I don't know. They all say they weren't. I don't know. I wasn't there. All I know is I'm still the same person I was before TFE. Exactly the same. Exactly the same. And on that note, I think I am going to go ahead and end the stream so that I can go take care of these puppies. Hey, listen, if anybody, you guys, seriously, I got 5 puppies I need to find homes for. They need good, loving homes. If any of you are within driving distance to the Charlotte area and you can give one of these puppies a good, loving lifetime home, you should send me an email and maybe we can set something up. And if not, well, whatever. They'll just go to some country bumpkin and probably make more puppies later. All right, you guys. Thank you all for being here. I appreciate you all coming and hanging out with me. You're behind. I mean, look at Eric Dubé was saying there was no 24-hour sun. Well, he was full of shit, wasn't he? Yeah, exactly the same. All right, you guys, seriously, thank you for being here. I appreciate you all. Don't be discouraged by all these people, whatever they're doing. Don't worry about it. Just, you know, focus on yourself, focus on your family, hug your children, hug your significant other, hug your parents if you still can. Just try to enjoy yourself. Don't let this crap take over your life. Don't despair. And don't worry. Fear not, because the Earth is a level stationary plane, not a soggy water ball spinning through the vacuum of space. Space is not trying to kill us. Everything's fine. All right, you guys, take it easy. Peace. You can send physical mail to P.O. Box 10, Earl, North Carolina 28038. You can also follow me on Ko-Fi.com, and if you enjoy my shows and want to send me a tip, anything and everything is greatly appreciated, and thank you. And it's official. Flat Earth Festivals has been retired. It was great fun while it lasted, and I hope you all cherish the memories we made at Flattoberfest as much as I do, and it was a pleasure to watch so many online friendships become in real life friendships over the years. Thank you so much, and I'll see you next time.